Hello, hello, friends. Welcome to Money Talks podcast. And today, I'm still live on Instagram and on YouTube as well at the same time, so I'll be looking different at different places at different times. But that's not important. The important is the thing which is important today is basically the topic which I want to be talking about, and that's the idea of being of service in your spiritual business. And you might have your spiritual business, you might be a life coach, you might be a healer, you might be a light worker, you might be a star seed, however you identify yourself, that really doesn't matter. But you probably came across at some point in your business, in your entrepreneurial journey, with the idea of being of service to your clients, your audience, in your business entirely, basically. And as much as I do get that idea, for some time it has really triggered a lot for me because it had this negative connotation of being a service, like servitude, and being something less, and having to kind of like deserve the client's attention, deserve the audience's, engagement or likes or whatever you call that. And I really got why this is so. Like, why do we want to be doing this? Because when we are focusing on service with the person, right? Then it really like there's no space for anything else. Hopefully, there's no space to worry about the outcome, whether they will like us or they will not, whether they will agree with what telling them or they will not agree, whether they will buy anything from you or they will not buy anything, right? And so maybe that was your case as well when you felt a little bit like, okay, I should be more of a service because I'm too attached to the outcome of having a client, of earning that money, right? And I can't do that. Like, I take my mind off of really the outcome and the results I want in my business. And then you felt guilty for thinking like this, and then you were all confused, like, oh my god, how do I do this thing? I'm not, it doesn't seem to be possible for me to be taking my mind off completely. So what I discovered some time ago was actually which is the wound of the masculine actually around money. And I'm teaching this a lot in my money flow course, but we still don't go into such a depth as I want to be taking this particular masculine wound um, into depth, because I believe that many of you will resonate with that. You will feel similarly to myself. Not everyone, of course, will have the same or feel the same about this, but if you're someone who was really like goal orientated in your entire life, like you were always chasing the next goal, the next outcome, the result, and it was maybe almost like you didn't even care about the process, or you were like, let's get over with the process, the time I need to be spending on something, let's get to the end goal. And the end goal was the most important thing. So what I want to be sharing with you today is that this kind of approach, where there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely, and probably like myself, you have achieved great results in your life with that anyway, right? But it's limiting. It's absolutely limiting. And what I discovered where this is coming from, it's definitely coming from the wounded masculine. We all have our masculine and feminine side, and masculine and feminine energy inside of us, and this kind of approach, wanting and rushing to the end goal, is coming from a wounded masculine specifically. And this might happen when you took someone, like you took an ideal in someone who was doing it similarly. I personally took it from my father. He was the role model for me, and I subconsciously totally took on his model of just providing for the family, bringing in the cash, um, caring for the family in a way that we always have what we need, the basics, like I'm not talking luxurious stuff, but I'm talking like we are being taken care of, right? But there was no emotional connection, and the emotional connection is actually the key point in here, because if your father was disconnected emotionally from himself and maybe from yourself as well, like my father was from his children, or at least from me, and I felt that, and I yet couldn't put the finger on it, like what's that thing which I'm missing here, what's not really okay for me, and that was the emotional disconnection. And that is the wound inside, which is, or which has actually really perpetuated and forced me to look for that end goal, because all satisfaction was in the end goal. So I thought, and so many of you might be thinking as well. So the end goal is the ultimate satisfaction, and it's almost like brushing over everything else as least important. No matter what you do, no matter how it looks like, it's kind of like not important, but the end goal is important. So if you can relate to that, you may see a similarity right now in your spiritual business as well, when you might be struggling with getting the results that you want. You might be getting some results, but yet you know that it's really not working for you, because there are ups and downs with your results. You see coming, the money coming in, and sometimes you don't see it coming in, no matter what you do. And then sometimes clients are signing up, and then so many times you see actually clients or potential clients coming to you, inquiring about your services, jumping on calls with you, and then at the end pulling out, saying no, saying they're not interested, having all kinds of objections, where you just basically at the end of the day, they're they're not signing up for your services. And so the end goal in that is not fulfilled, is not satisfied. And so if that resonates, like I would really love to hear from you if that resonates, because, and again, this will not be for everyone, but for some of you, this will be a real game changer in your business. Because the antidote for is like, oh, of course, the first thing is to see that this is what's happening, right? And then to see that the disconnection is happening in the phase, in the process, like connecting, deeply connecting with the person in front of you, deeply connecting with your business. That is the key point on where you can be shifting your focus, instead of being focused on the end goal as you usually were. So, shifting that will actually break the cycle of let's get over with this, let's get to the end goal. If you shift that, if you shift your focus on the emotional connection, if you like, that's called even serving people, right? It's the same. But for you specifically, if you're finding yourself in this very shoes, like I'm talking about, then you know that deeply connecting emotionally, the emotional part is really important when you're connecting with the person in front of you. And the emotional connection is much more important for you than the end goal. Then you will be able 100% to shift the attachment from the end goal, from the result, and you will view or even value and assess your business, your sales, more in terms of, well, how good my sales process is, or how good I am at selling. You are not longer judging it by the results you're getting, so the yeses or the nos are not important for you anymore, but you're valuing your service, sorry, your business, uh, by the way, how well you're connected with someone, and then how much you were able to serve them, because the emotional connection is what will make the difference. It is gonna heal the wound of the masculine, which is the go-getter, 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 completely emotionally disconnected, just going through the notion, and then just really looking for the end goal. This will completely change your entire business. It will give you a new metrics for evaluation of your business, of your efficiency. It will give you much more satisfaction, fulfillment in your business, because suddenly your results are not important, because you can connect with people anytime over anything, whether you are, just chatting with someone over DMs, or you're having calls with people, or you're just responding to comments and appreciating their likes or whatever you do. Like, once I started implementing those changes in my business, I can tell you, I started treating every single conversation in my inbox as the most important conversation I have right now in this very moment. You guys, you wouldn't believe what I've done before. Like, in my DMs, in all those conversations I had, I would even like copy paste the same answer for multiple people, and I was just like so disconnected with every single person. So of course, the satisfaction factor was very low. So I'm just gonna end on this note, because I could be, going on a rampage about this. But if that was intriguing for you, if you kind of relate to that and you would like to know more about this, just feel free to message me, and I can either hook you up with more info or help you in some other way. So I'll see you very soon. Take care for now.